Please sit. Why don't you enjoy a cup of calming jasmine tea?
So let's, I guess, get the conversation going with the way of the warrior now, right? I mean, no, it's got. So this is, you don't know how it goes and stuff, right?
How it goes.
So the idea is just 30 minutes of just talking and it's got talking about philosophy, truth, and beauty of all it's got the warrior, you know, the path of the warrior, the mindset of the warrior, and all.
Yeah.
And all it's good. You've been doing jiu-jitsu for how long have you been?
I think, I've been doing it for 13 years now.
13 years.
It's crazy to say. I think this year I've officially been a black belt longer than all my other belts.
Oh, nice.
Or I think last year actually, yeah. So I've been a black belt I got my black belt in 2015. So
2015. Wow.
So I've been a black belt for.
So that's when I started training and stuff.
Yeah.
So what got you into like the jiu-jitsu over all the other sports and stuff?
I always loved wrestling and grappling. I felt like I had a really strong understanding of it. And when my oldest daughter, Leilani, was 5, I wanted to put her in a martial arts. And I remember being in wrestling in high school, and I think he was like our 106 pounder, Johnny Orozco.
Yeah.
He was a purple belt in jiu-jitsu at the time. He was 106 pounds. I was 171 pounds. And everyone was like, he can choke you out. And I was like, no way. And I remember him triangling me, and then I thought, hey, submissions are super cool.
Yeah.
But I never super gave it a ton of thought. And then once my daughter got to be 5, I was like, hey, jiu-jitsu is going to be good for her for self-defense and things like that.
Something very efficient. So.
Yeah. Exactly. So it doesn't, utilize a ton of her strength or things like that. If she's technical, she'd be fine. So
Definitely.
Yeah. So I signed her up, and I wasn't training. And then throughout that time,
you signed her up, but you didn't do it.
Yeah, I was just bringing her, and I would watch. And then there was a purple belt. This was at Brazilian Top Team Long Beach. This purple belt, Omar. He kept asking me hey, why don't you train? Hey, why don't you train? Over and over again.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. So I gave it a try in 2011, and instantly fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I was at GKN at the time. I was working second shift, so I would go train in the morning, take a shower, and then
head off to work.
Yeah, and then head off to work, and it was great. I loved it. I loved training. I did my first competition probably, I think it was 3 weeks into training.
Wow,
and I won.
Oh, nice.
And then 3 months into training, I did the Pan American Championships, which at the time was the biggest tournament.
Wow.
It was an
So you
IBJJF
jumped
tournament.
straight in, huh?
Yeah, I was super into it. Lost a bunch of weight. It was great.
Yeah.
And then I won Pan Ams, and then I got my blue belt in 3 months.
Damn.
So it was really cool. I was loving it.
Yeah. So you really dove, right? You found your passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started in January. By the end of March, I was a blue belt.
Wait, you started in February?
I started in January. By the end of March, I was a blue belt.
Okay.
And then by mid-April, I broke my arm.
Oh.
In a jiu-jitsu tournament.
You're good. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Don't worry about it. We're just hanging out.
Yeah. I broke my arm at a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah. When you were working at GKN.
Yeah. So, luckily I was working there. They have amazing medical benefits. That's one of the pluses of being there. So
Of course.
A little over 3 months into training, I break my arm. Everyone on the team was kind of saying, "Hey, he's gonna quit."
Yeah, broke his arm. No one wants to go through that.
Yeah, I have this massive scar now from the surgery.
But I didn't know that was so early in early in your career and all.
Yeah, and I had never gotten injured in sports before that. All throughout high school, college, no injuries. And then 3 months into jiu-jitsu, I got my arm broken, and I had to have surgery.
Right.
So a lot of people were like, "Hey, he's gonna quit," and I was like, "No, it's gonna make me like work harder."
Yeah.
So
You gotta work around it. And
exactly,
stuff. Yeah.
and that ended up being one of the best things that happened for my jiu-jitsu.
Huh.
So because I had to focus on technique at the time. Prior to that, if I was being honest, like I was using a ton of my wrestling and things like that.
Same
It was,
here.
it was like wrestling and strength. That was like everything. But once I broke my arm, I realized like, hey, I need to get like more technical.
And that's totally see a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I started discovering what I ended up being good at, and you know, doing moves from half guard and things like that. And I would kind of like study and like just do it in my mind, which is, you know,
kind of hard, right?
It's hard, but I think it helped a lot. When I was finally done and I was able to get back on the mats, like I could visualize everything, which is like why I'm like super into visualization now.
Do you see more or do you feel more?
I think I do a great combination of both, but
nice.
I can, especially with now coaching, I can watch things and like the answers like pop up.
You see the answer to the solution and all.
Yeah, I think I just have a really good eye for grappling. I think it just, for some reason, it's like a foreign language, right? Everyone who's trying wrestling, jiu-jitsu, you see everyone come in and they know very few words, right? You know, like, and then eventually
they start to learn
and then
the technique names and everything.
And then you eventually become like fluent in it, like a language, right?
Learn those like the way they speak, like the little dialects and stuff.
Exactly, right? So like when you say like someone's like a purple belt, like it's like someone who kind of knows Spanish, right? They're not like if they go to Mexico, like they'll be fine, they'll be able to go and get around things.
Go
like
to
that,
the bathroom, order some food.
Things stuff like that, you know. But they're not fluent. Like, but everyone wants to be fluent. That's a black belt, right? A black belt is like fluent, and even beyond that, like a competition black belt is like people don't even hear your accent and you're fluent. You know what I mean? And that's where everyone wants to be.
Interesting.
So
that's crazy.
I think for whatever reason, grappling and things like that, like I've been able to like quote unquote speak
the language very well. Learn the little dialects and stuff, and all that stuff. You get blended.
Exactly. You know, so
I mean, see, on school, but that's the thing is on school, like having the love for sport and breaking your arm. There was something more than on school, just this jiu-jitsu and stuff, right? Like on school. Because most people at that point would just kind of, he broke his arm, he's just, that's why everyone stopped, because it's too dangerous or whatnot. I mean, what kept you going, most guys, like past that? Like, you know, I know this is it. This is what I want.
Yeah, I think, it would have been super easy to quit, right? I had my career, you know, I had my kids, things like that, right? And then, like, I couldn't work for a little period of time and things like that. And the idea of, like, getting hurt again was on my mind. But, like, one, my daughter was doing it, right? So I wanted to show her that, like,
example.
Exactly. Like, hey, things are going to happen. And you can work hard.
We can avoid this. We can, like, this was just a freak accident.
Exactly. And like, whatever happened, you can always bounce back. I want to make sure I showed that. I wanted to prove the people who thought I was going to quit wrong. And then lastly, I truly like loved it. Like I was in love with it. It was, it had been like one of the like, it almost was like my call.
A foundation, a call, your purpose.
Yes,
your
exactly.
Destiny and stuff.
Like I felt like, hey, if I work really hard at this, I can, you know,
achieve greatness.
And I can be good. You know?
I get that. It's called. I mean that's awesome. So it's called like for those who are kind of struggling too. It's called like keep going. You know, because any physical sport is tough. It's called like I'm tired, my body aches, I'm sweaty, you know, it's called I got a little blood, you know, it's called like he hit me hard, broken arm. But it's like there's something about that warrior spirit. It's like something. It's like, how would you define warrior? how would you define that mindset and stuff? You know, because there's something it's called like that all athletes have. Like I know it's called like the warrior mindset isn't just like pertains to fighting, jujitsu, and all that, but it's a like an idea, right? Like a character.
Yeah. I think it primarily starts with like believing in yourself and believing in like the process you're doing.
The process and all,
right?
Yeah. Like it's a bunch of character traits that
Exactly.
defines, right? Like.
I think one thing people don't talk about a lot, and that I don't feel is like the warrior mindset is like it's always easy to do things when you're good at it or you're having like success at it, right? So I have like students who are very like talented and they have like a lot of success in competition.
They know the technical, they understand the language, they speak it very fluently.
Yeah, and I feel like there's two types of people, right? There's the people who are like competing because they're doing well, and there's people who are competing because they have like that warrior spirit and they want to have a fight. And you only see who has that when you see people lose.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've had students who are like successful or talented, but then they lose and you see them get like broken a little bit. They want to quit, they don't want to compete anymore, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't love the sport. They don't love the growth.
They love the winning.
They love winning.
Yeah.
Right? And
they love the success and the status that comes with it and all.
So I don't feel like they're like true like warriors, right? Because when they lose, they're broken. On the other side, I've had teammates or students who like will lose and they continue to like push on.
Keep striving for it to get better and stuff.
Like I had a teammate at Long Beach who he did not win. He competed a lot. He did not win a match until brown belt. And
but
he kept competing. He kept competing. And by the time he was a brown belt, he was like a very talented brown belt.
The loss that he built up, he never made those mistakes again.
Exactly.
And it's got the will to keep striving forward to become better and it's got overcome your mistakes.
Yeah, he wasn't like discouraged or like things like that.
Yeah.
While on the other side, you know, I've had people who have won, like say they do 10 tournaments in a year, they'll win 8 of them.
Yeah.
But then they'll lose
the other two.
They'll lose 2 in a row, and then suddenly they want to quit.
Well, that means they just have one part of it, but they don't have the other part of it, right?
Yeah, I think, and this is all like lower belts usually. When you're like a blue belt, sometimes even a purple belt, like I think that concept is in their mind, like a lot. And there are people who are defined by winning, right? And they feel like that is like their character, that is who they are.
I have to win so I can be this person.
Yeah, because they get this praise and things like that. And when
they tell me who I am.
Exactly.
Instead of who I am was from the work that I put in and the effort and stuff.
It's like, it's almost like what Ghetto said to Gojo, right? It's like, are you the greatest because you're Gojo, or are you Gojo because you're the greatest, right? So it's like these people are like, they need people to tell them that they are good at this, right? Or like they're Gojo.
You're great because you're Gojo.
Yeah, you know, while like I think how they act when they lose should show who they are. You know? And
that shows you the other part of them. Like, whether you win or lose, you're still still part of your journey, your story and stuff. You can't just cut out this page or rip this page out because you don't like it.
Yeah,
you have to kind of write it and just move on to the next chapter and stuff.
Yeah, which is like that even goes into when I ask people, like say I'm not at a tournament or things like that, I say how did it go? And they'll just say like, oh, I lost. And I was like, that's not what I asked. I just said, how did it go? How did you feel in your match? The things that you did. And you could kind of see a person's like mindset. I feel like a true warrior. When you ask them how would it go, they'll describe their match. They'll say the things they did good.
I got knocked down. I know. He got me to the arm bar. He got around my back. Like they really analyze how they lost.
Yeah, they talk about the battle, not just like I won or I
Than
lost.
the outcome,
Yeah.
the results.
Yeah, and
People focus on the results
Exactly.
than the process.
yeah, and I feel like that usually happens when the person is like more superficial. Like you'll see that they only cared about the winning aspect rather than the losing. Because even as a coach, there's been people who
Yeah.
I've been like more upset with them in their wins than their losses because of like, oh, they're winning but their technique is poor, right?
Yeah.
But I'll have people who lost, but I see their progress that they have made, right?
You
I'm
see
more-
the growth.
exactly.
Yeah. Is he growing? So
Exactly.
whether you win or lose, it's kind of irrelevant. It's more how well are you growing, because this is just another challenge. It's
Yeah.
just another like an obstacle. You have to go through over this and over that. Training partners, or so to say.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, he kept getting me on this one. He kept choking me out.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't choke me out this time, and
Yeah.
it's just the gradual improvement stuff.
Exactly.
You don't want to fight someone that's almost it's like you can win against 10 white belts, but you fought a blue belt and you survived.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I respect and I feel like the warrior spirit is in the people who talk more about their progress than theirs wins.
No.
And don't get me wrong, there's
Yeah.
like some tournaments where you're gonna win and you made some progress, but then there's gonna be some where you didn't make progress, right?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that allowed me to excel in jiu-jitsu fast is I critiqued my wins the same way I critiqued my losses.
Yeah.
Like if I made mistakes in my wins and things like that.
Well,
like,
where can you be
are-
perfect?
exactly.
Overall,
Yeah.
the outcome is going to be the outcome depending on who I am.
Yeah.
And it's like if I progress faster, then the outcome will always be this outcome, so to say.
Yeah. And like tournaments are so weird. There's like so many different things. Like it could be matchups, or sometimes you'll get the best guy in the first round, or like things like that. You
Yeah.
know, the difference between someone getting no medal and getting like second place. Like I've seen people who perform bad get second place and get demolished in the finals. So it's like, oh, if you fought that guy first round, you would have lost.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know? So
It's
we
just
don't.
the outcomes of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I look way more on like the people's like progress.
I get you. That makes sense, because you can never control how the event is going to go. The
Exactly.
event is going to happen how it's going to
Yeah.
happen. Whether you pair up with this guy or that guy, it dictates on where you fall.
Yeah.
If you fought the top of the guy, right at the beginning, you ended there. But you fight him at the end, and you just fight these guys, and you reach him to the end or something.
Yeah. 100%. And
Yeah.
you see that a lot, and people don't like super think about that.
No, the details of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the details. So it's like that. You have to kind of be keen to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like, the word warrior, it's kind of there, but people have so many interpretation on it that it's get put all into many different directions. Now when you're looking at it, it's like, okay, which side do I start with? If you start on this side, you get different philosophy from this side and that side, but what you kind of reach in the middle, they all have some certain ideas, but when everyone's pointing like their own definition of it, you
Yeah.
get like so certain lines that connected to the essence of the warrior, but in their own philosophies
Yeah.
and stuff.
Like I think I guess my philosophy would be a warrior is like someone who like rises through adversity. Right, like-
Yeah, never gives up, and because like I know a lot of people that are strong that don't fight, but I could tell they have that warrior spirit.
Yeah.
Because that those character traits that's like, man, like what you're doing is a whole lot harder than me fighting against
Yeah.
these guys and that guys and stuff. I get choked out, I get slammed, whatever. That's just physical pain, but through emotional adversities or whatnot, like you strive so much.
Yeah.
And you become strong, and like
Yeah.
not a lot, like you said, not a lot of people have that and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's why, like I always say, like adversity, right? Because that could be in like anything.
Yeah. It's in
Even
life.
yeah, just
Life is a, sometimes adversity, you know.
yeah, just you know, coaching
Yeah.
like high school kids or younger kids, and like sometimes like well, most of the time, a lot of these kids are facing like harder things than the adults that I'm dealing with, and the way they're handling them is with like just this level of that like warrior spirit, like pushing through it.
Yeah.
You know, and
Certain
it's
characters
amazing.
carry certain character traits that just embodies them.
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of like it's tough, but I'll be fine.
yeah,
I know I'll be fine. You know, it's kind of like you can't really define it yet, but you know you have that character that just stands tall.
yeah. And like I said, it's easy to compete or do things when you're winning, right?
Yeah.
If you
How you doing, man?
if you're like competing or fighting or doing tournaments and you're winning like a bunch, like it's easy to like continue to do them. But if you're like struggling and you continue to do them, that's the spirit, right? Like we could take like Israel Adesanya, right?
Yeah.
He was like undefeated. He's beating everybody,
Oh yeah.
right? And like obviously a lot of people consider him to be a warrior, but I think his greatest accomplishment is beating like Alex Pereira, right? After getting knocked out for the third time, right? And still pushing to like fight him again and like get that win and like beating him. That's like a more beautiful story than if he's just undefeated and
Just beating everybody and standing on top, because you don't see almost like the real work that he puts in. If he's just winning, it's kind of like, okay, the work that you see almost doesn't shine through. Or he loses, boom. Now it's cause the surface cracks. Now you get to see what's inside and all. So like all the work. Okay, he really put in the work.
Exactly.
Yeah, like kind of break down into seeing the layers and stuff. Because everyone can always put up a wall, but then when you peek behind the wall, it's like, okay, what's behind the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Oh, it's called shit, dude. Damn, you got to so well.
I'm a good talker.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, you just had like, damn, I don't know where to go.
Yeah,
but
I think I've had like a really great opportunity being like an athlete and then going to a coach, right? Like I was like a fairly like successful athlete, nothing like too crazy. But then as a coach, watching like my students and the ones who like struggled, and then the ones who like push through and like overcome.
Well, it's almost a reflection of you. You know, it's what you teach is who you, it's coming from you and all.
Yeah.
And I actually heard this quote once, like it's got early this morning. It's got you can only teach it's got your past you, and it's got like you know who you are.
Yeah.
And then it's got like every day you're always getting better. It's got I can teach this. I can teach this now. I can teach this. Teach from experience.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah. I know. I like it too. I was like, oh, God damn it.
I didn't come up with that.
But no. I loved it just because it's like, it makes complete sense because it's like, now it's like, you're not really making little replicas of yourself, but you're giving them a little bit of mini Jasons.
Yeah, I feel like, and there's like a lot to do with coaching. Coaching is probably like one of the hardest things.
Because you gotta make sure what you're saying is right, and also make sure you're teaching them properly and stuff.
Yeah, and it is like a weird thing of, at the end of the day, like jiu-jitsu is like a hobby for a lot of people and they're paying for it.
Yeah.
Right? It's very different than, say, coaching at the high school, right? The kids at the high school are way more receptive because, you know, they're volunteering to be there rather than the people here are like paying for a service. So it is like I am attempting to give this piece of me to these people, and like some of them are receptive and some of them are not.
So you know, playing with like what's called a bit more.
Yeah, you know, and just that sometimes it takes away like a piece for myself, right? but I feel like all of my students are like worth that like opportunity.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah. You're giving them most like your own experience where it's gonna they can really learn from.
Yeah.
Right, like it's gonna open up that door.
Yeah.
It's gonna hey, this is what's called. This is what you should do. Hopefully, it's gonna take it and it's gonna like learn from it.
Yeah.
But then there's always some students where like, I don't need it at all. You're going to need it. I'm sure. I'm going through
100%. There's always people who feel like they
it's just
they know better or like things like that.
It's figuring out how to connect them.
Yeah.
That's a hard part, especially with old school like high school kids.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
They know. They just know.
If I'm being honest, the high school kids are way easier than the adults, right? The adults,
I believe it.
kind of see themselves as my peers and things like that, and like, yeah, a lot of them just feel like they'll know better. The high school kids like just view me as their coach.
They
have
see
their
you
best,
that level.
Yeah, and I have their best interests at heart.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on this weird like philosophy now of like there are no like, I mean, in extremes there are bad coaches.
Yeah.
But I think what everyone needs to realize is it's not about the coaches. It's about if you're able to find your students, right? I think every coach has their group of students that they should have.
Yeah.
And
I get that.
you got to be able to like find them.
Yeah.
And then they'll fit your coaching style, and you'll be able to make them great, right? Because we have all those coaches, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll have some coaches who are going to be the ones who are going to like yell at you or belittle you, and that's going to motivate you.
Yeah.
That's what helped me a lot.
I need someone to push me down and like, come on, kid, get up. And I was like, am I standing? No, not yet. Get up. Okay, I'll make sure I stand. You know?
Yeah. At the time, I didn't really understand it, and my coach Marcelo in Long Beach, when I was at brown belt preparing for Worlds, I just hadn't been going to his class, and then one day he was just watching me roll, and like he just kind of pretty much talked shit to me, and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna die in that brown belt. Like, you're doing awful." Mind you, like I had been winning a bunch at brown belt. I was like the number one, I was like number one in my division, and like things like that. But he said that, and then Worlds was coming up, and I was almost like, no, like fuck you. Like I think I'm the best brown belt in the world.
Yeah.
And then like I went out there and I submitted everyone in my brown belt like Worlds, right? The one Worlds that I won. And then later, almost after I became a coach, I was like, oh, Marcelo knew how to like motivate me.
Yeah.
Right? He knows I'm motivated by like proving people wrong or having people like judge me.
It's that subtle stuff that I was like those Sensei see. Like, okay, I know this is what's going to help them.
Yeah.
But if I tell them, they're either going to fight it or they're going to take it the wrong way or they're not just going to be receptive to it as if I do it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of have to almost kind of hide it from them.
Yeah.
Until they're ready to kind of see it for themselves.
Yeah.
And what they see is that, oh, that's
yeah. So that was like, that like realization had been great. So, but other people wouldn't have been receptive to that style. It would have like broke them down.
Yeah.
Made them question themselves at the tournament.
Yeah, I get that. That's why it's almost like I mean that's the thing is every student's different, and almost as the coach, as almost the sensei, you have to kind of almost see them as a group, but also as individuals and stuff, and almost see how you move them around, and almost like okay, train with this person, train with that person, and almost and just work with their ups and downs, and just bring it all together and just put them in all its color, just tune them and make them as well as the best they can.
Yeah.
And that's where I guess coaching gets a little bit stressful. Hard and stuff.
Yeah, coaching is very stressful and it's unrewarding.
Rewarding and unrewarding to its sense.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like,
I mean, you can only help them so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Come on, man, you gotta drink water. You gotta drink water. Nah, I'm good.
So like the thing that made me great, quote unquote great, when I was a competitor was I obsessed about my losses.
Yeah.
When I lost, I would obsess about it, the things I need to fix, the things I need to do to get better. Things like that. But now I do that times each one of my students.
Yeah.
So like
individually.
After tournaments, like if I had 20 people competing, like I think about 20 losses that people lost.
Yeah.
You know? And
that's a lot.
Yeah, and it's things I'll like obsess about, and I'll try to help the students and like things like that. But the thing like I realized is giving that much of yourself, you're not gonna like get.
Let's go.
Good.
You're not gonna get thank yous and things like that.
Yeah.
It's you have to be doing it like for yourself.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It's like you give your all.
Yeah.
So you know what's good. You give your all.
Yeah.
And it's called now whether they thank you or not. That's all it's called. It's just like thanks for the sprinkles. Thanks for the cherries.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. You gave me a banana. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Give me some peach. Thanks. Yeah.
100%. You have to do it like kind of like in silence.
Yeah. It's one of those unspoken kind of things. So it's got those who appreciate you will verbally appreciate you.
Yeah.
Once they get to that level of what's called understanding. I guess. Yeah. Oh man, okay, I can see what my coach has done for me. I can understand what's called like I understand the stroke because it's called like you see it, but it's good you don't experience it.
Yeah.
And it's good that when you finally experience it, oh man, I get this now. I completely understand it now, and it's just it's a process, right? So
it is, and it takes like a lot of growth.
But it helps you grow too, and all. Let's see where where you're because you can always get better. Like I said, you hate the loss. I hate feeling this feeling because it's like I know I should overcome this feeling. Where I gotta grow? Where I gotta do? Where I gotta learn?
For sure.
It just takes time too, and all. And that's what I'm working on is the patience part. Can I just not feel this? I know what I gotta do, but it's a process. What? But hey, Jason, thank you for jumping on the podcast, man. It was cool. It was fun talking to you.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you
I'll
for
do
all
it again anytime.
Thank you for all the knowledge and everything. And a couple of days before Christmas, we're gonna get a Christmas special.
Okay. Awesome. For sure.
Cool. All right, man.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you, dude.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Is teaching now?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like 4 o'clock. Movie like anime.
Yeah. I get stuck on the anime and stuff.
Are you all caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen?
I have one more, but I'm
So you're one episode behind?
one episode. I'm
Counting today's, or did you see last week's?
I don't think I saw. I saw clips here and there.
Okay.
Mojito
Yeah.
running through the
In the snow.
snow.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that. So it's like, so they released another one already.
Yeah.
Right? Cool.
The one today.
Good. So I'm not gonna watch that one. I'm gonna save that one. So I was like, oh man, I'm having a tear on tape. I need to watch the Jujutsu Kaisen. I have like a couple of animes where it was like I fall a little bit behind, so I can have it like watch it whenever I want to. So
It's
like I've been on Dr. Stone.
Okay.
And I've been on top of it. Then it's like okay, I watch it now. I can't wait a week to watch it now.
I'm like I didn't start the season. No, the last one I saw. I saw them make the weather balloon.
Oh, okay.
And that's the last part I saw. So that's so many episodes behind.
I mean, now they're just almost finishing with season 3. And that's dope. Because you need to see how they just create the world bigger and bigger. I can use that. I like that idea.
I like Dr. Stone a lot.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one's super solid, but yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is like easily like my favorite. Yeah, I've read the manga up until like now.
Oh, yeah?
So
Oh,
I'm super
man.
caught up. The manga's supposed to end next year.
Yeah, 24,
so,
right?
which is like where it's at. You can kind of see, not that it's wrapping up, but it's like, oh, where do you go from here?
Well,
You know?
that's the thing is almost like the Shibuya arc fucking seems so like that's the climax, you know?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it feels like from what I've been seeing on YouTube and Instagram, so like I don't think they're even close to that. But like the stuff that I'm seeing, it seems like it's like way down here,
Yeah.
and the Shibuya arc is like right here,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, the Shibuya arc is crazy.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like I think someone like did like a timeline of everything. So it's like Yuji goes through like a bunch in like a short period of time.
Like within like a 6 month or something.
Yeah, right? Or even just everything we're watching right now from when he arrives in Shibuya to like what just happened.
Yeah.
It's only been like an hour and 40 minutes. So in that time, he's seen like things happen to his friends, his teacher, like everybody.
Everyone dying like
You know?
instantly and stuff.
Yeah, he went from like being semi like hopeful and like let's do this to like just being like broken.
Just through despair and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, I mean,
And-
the whole city getting destroyed and all. Like, okay, that just happened like a week ago.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it just
like
happened
right now.
30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the time that Oscar like Gojo got trapped and to Sukuna Oscar getting released.
Yeah.
Like that was like maybe Oscar 2-3 minutes. Boom.
Yeah, like yeah, it was.
Yeah. And it's like it's so huge and so unfathomable.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
But it's even crazier. Like I'm not gonna spoil what happens in the manga, but everything on Shibuya happens on Halloween.
Yeah.
And like so much things happen, and like where we are in the manga right now, it's Christmas Eve. Like it's around this time right now in the manga. So like a bunch of stuff happens, and when you really think about it, it's been less than 2 months. And it's like, dude,
now that's a curse. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like for all of that.
They show you what a curse is in a small time span.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
know.
was like they was talking about like years ago, 100 years, so it's been like decades, and so like okay, like dude, you're talking about like 2,400 hours.
Yeah.
No, that's all happened in 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just think about it, compared to like other like animes that we like,
The time skips and stuff about
Yeah.
One Piece and Naruto.
or if you just take the main character and like what they've gone through, like I don't like I feel like Naruto went through like a lot, right? But it felt like it was over years. Like he had like a ton of time with like Jiraiya, right?
Yeah.
That was like a super heartfelt like situation when
Yeah.
Jiraiya died.
Yeah.
But Naruto had years with Jiraiya.
Yeah,
and
2,
things like
3
that,
years.
you know?
I mean, well, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I feel like Yuji, he just like got into the jujitsu community.
Yeah.
He's only been there a couple months, and he's bonded with these people, and to him to like have to watch them die or watch these things happen to them. He's only like felt like he connected with people for like these months, and it all started with like the person he's closest to most, his grandfather died.
Yeah.
Right, and so he had to go through that, and then he met.
But the way he handles it, and all,
Yeah.
it's like he just it's not like he's not affected by it,
Yeah.
but he just takes it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he tries to stay hopeful, but I think in this arc we see him like breaking a little bit because we watch him watch Nanami,
Yeah.
right,
And
then Nabora, Nabora,
Yeah,
right,
Nabora.
right. When that happened to her, like the way like he whispers her name, as
Yeah.
like that was like
So,
the craziest like anime like sequence because we all felt it right when both Mahitos were running past each other and
Yeah.
she pops up and you're like no, and the way the camera like zooms in and you just see his hand touch her face.
like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
She's not gonna get popped or
Yeah. It was just-
And I know it's a little bit different, it goes into a little bit more detail in the manga.
Yeah.
But it's good, like from where I'm at, just watching the anime, it's like she's dead.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but it's good, like It's like you have hope that hopefully
Yeah.
she survives or something,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, because they kind of hint at her surviving, but
It's such a big cliffhanger.
Yeah, because it is like
Well,
the guy was like, "Hey, I might be able to heal,"
Yeah.
and then the fact that Mahito was split in two, so his power was split.
Yes.
So the energy's not the same, and all those things.
Kurisaki.
Nanami died. That's like you know he's dead. He popped.
And I think that wasn't in the manga, but I loved how they did the whole scene with him on the beach and like things like that.
Yeah,
like kind of like getting that vacation that he wanted
Yeah.
and things like that right before it was time for him to go. You know, but it's always weird like when our favorite characters get screen time and then they just like pass away.
It's hard, you know. It's good because you want to kind of have them see the end.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like they don't always get to see the end.
Yeah.
But you know, it's because since we are watching them, it's because we get to see the end, what they plan or wish for and stuff, and all this stuff. But they don't get to ever really see the end, you know.
Yeah.
The time stops right here, and all this good. We're on the journey with all this good. The characters until all the way to the end. Okay, this is what. At least I get to know what happens at the end, instead of basically dying at the cliffhanger.
Yeah. I think, and I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen has done a great job of letting you care about the side characters.
Yeah,
Right? Whether, like, you care about them dying or you just think they're, like, super cool. Like, Toji is, like, one of the coolest characters. Like, what's his name? No, the dad of, the one who was, like, Megami's dad. You know, like in the fight with Gojo, that was great. And then when he came back to life, it was like, dude, 4 sorcerers were struggling with that curse, and then he comes in there and he just destroys them. And then,
like, you understand how godly he is, until like, he actually beats up, like, until you see the perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, wow, like, how the hell does he beat them? Oh, he's just that strong.
Yeah.
You know,
and he has no curse energy or any of that. I mean,
heavenly body.
Yeah.
Right?
And just his fight with Megami and like everything with the rabbits, even like the rabbits are coming, he stops the ground. Like all of that. It's like super cool. But he made him like a super like even that character who's had very limited screen time is just
you
like
just love him.
Yeah.
Okay. You know he was trying to be a good father.
Yeah.
And he did the best he could of what the situation he had.
Yeah.
And then at the end of his life again.
Yeah. He's like, oh, what's your last name?
Yeah.
Is it Simon? And he's like, no, it's Fushiguro. He's like,
okay, I'm done. I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
And like he's not even like, you can almost say he's like a side character, but he pops in just for a bit, like as a villain, and then he just pops out. Yeah. And then it's like, but you just fucking love him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's always
like, and I mean that's Jujutsu Kaisen. They know how to kind of really bring the character out.
Yeah.
You know?
And even with like minor things like Toji like made Gojo, right? Because like him almost killing Gojo made Gojo like realize reverse curse
energy.
But there's still even, I think someone pointed it out, like Toji found him because Gojo didn't have his limitless on the whole time.
Yeah.
And he was able to follow Gojo's footsteps. So I guess if you watch all the episodes now, if you watch Gojo walk on sand or anything like that, his feet never touch the ground. Because he got tracked by Toji that one time. So then since then, he was like, oh, I'm never leaving footsteps and things like that. Because it's like, Gojo's eyes can see cursed energy, but Toji didn't have it.
Yeah, cursed energy and stuff.
Yeah.
The little details that they throw in there. Yeah. You do really have to pay attention now. Yeah, like before, back in the old cartoons, they'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah, like they'd be like, super upfront about it. You know?
They'll spend a whole episode telling you this and that, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. You know? Now it's like, okay, you really have to watch for the subtle details and stuff of like how they kind of just sprinkle it in the episodes. Oh, okay, so that's why I connected there. Like for me, it was like a ghetto, where like he had the scar on his
Yeah.
forehead, you know, and then you don't notice it until until you watch Shibuya. Huh, he didn't have that before.
Yeah.
And then it was like he was a human.
Yeah.
He didn't have it.
Yeah.
But then after he died.
Yeah.
Then you kind of see it. Like, what the fuck?
But then that kind of gave away Itadori's mom also, because if you look in flashbacks, she had those marks on her head too.
Huh.
If you watch it,
Which episode is that one? I don't
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Like, but earlier, like there's a flashback with his mom, and she has like the little marks.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah. So
they'll sneak those in.
yeah, they don't like explain it. They don't say anything about it.
Just to let you know, it's like, hey, we put this in there.
Yeah.
Look for it. You know, like little Easter eggs and stuff.
But I like that I think it's called like the Dark Trio, right? It's Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and
I have watched Chainsaw.
there's one more. It's this one where they're like on this island. It was just released also, but that one's like great. All three of them make you feel like any character can die. Right? Even if you meet someone super cool, almost like a Game of Thrones thing. I always like remember that.
Game of Thrones really take out characters.
Yeah.
Really
Like the Prince of Dawn when he came, and we see him like looking super cool, and he's fighting the mountain, and you're like, oh, he's gonna win.
Chainsaw?
No, in the Game of Thrones.
I never watched it.
You never watched Game of Thrones?
Never watched Game of Thrones. Like I watched a couple episodes here and there and stuff. But like
Game of Thrones is like the king of like making you fall in love with somebody, and then they just kill you.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
Crazy.
I don't think I can watch through the whole thing and I'll just be pissed off. I feel like
you'll get pissed off for sure. Like so many times.
Yeah, so it just pisses you off and all.
Oh, the third one is Hell's Paradise. Hell's Paradise is also great.
Hell's Paradise. What's this?
Did you watch it?
Yeah. Only season 1, of course.
Yeah. So that one was super great. But like, you'd
people
see
just die.
Yeah, you see super.
Left and right.
Yeah, you see super cool characters.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I want to see how you. Oh, he died.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, he died.
Yeah.
You
know. So yeah, it makes it. But Chainsaw Man does that. Chainsaw Man's pretty good.
I'm seeing that one too. Like I know that one's a good one though.
Yeah.
It's got, like. But I know there's not rushed too much to go see it yet.
No.
Yeah.
It ends on like a good
thing.
Like
it builds up on. It's gonna take a little while to build up and all.
Yeah.
Huh?
That one has a little more humor than the other two.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen kind of has the humor.
It had a humor in the first season, but from here on out, nothing
dark.
is gonna be funny. The only thing, they showed a glimpse of it. There's one character. It's not really a spoiler. They showed him in this season. His name's Hikari. When they said, "Oh, there's two people who might surpass Gojo," and it was Yuta and like Hikari's the other one. And Hikari, he's kind of funny.
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, his domain is pretty cool because he loves gambling. It's not really a spoiler. He loves gambling, so he'll gamble, and if his slot machine hits, he has unlimited curse energy, so he can just keep fighting. And even if you like blow off his arm or anything like that, it's just but he doesn't. His reverse curse technique is even better or like faster than Gojo's or Sukuna's or anyone's because. It's just happening automatically. Because Hikari doesn't know how to do it, but once he has that unlimited,
he just kind of goes wild.
Yeah.
And
he's a super cool character. I think they'll probably kill him off soon.
So you don't know yet either.
I don't like Gege, the writer of it. It seems like he likes making the fans upset, or he or she. Because they don't
know how to kind of touch the fans' buttons and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I really wish Nanami didn't die.
Yeah, right.
You know, like I really wish, like why? Like maybe it was kind of like you could just bring him back. No, he's dead. Because it's almost kind of like in Naruto, the hardest hit was Jiraiya, but he was almost like there was almost like. He died for this.
Yeah.
But when Kakashi died, it's like, but he came back.
Yeah.
They brought him back.
Yeah.
Like if they kept him dead, I was like, okay, they can't do that. You know?
Yeah. I think like a death that might have hit me a little harder than Jiraiya would be Asuma. And seeing how that affected Shikamaru.
Yeah.
And like just that scene where Shikamaru's playing chess with his dad.
Oh man.
And he gets upset, his dad was just like let it out. And then Shikamaru's revenge, that was like one of the best. Yeah.
Like guy that had no remorse for killing and all.
Yeah.
You know, and that's that redemption.
Yeah, and he's immortal, so it's like you can't kill him.
So
but you torture him forever.
Just leave his dead body in in the hole.
Yeah.
And protect it. No one will ever get to him and all.
Yeah.
You know, unless they're really looking for him. But for him, who really looks for him and all?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That one. Yeah, that one's a tough one, huh?
Yeah, that one was great.
Yeah.
I feel that Naruto has been my favorite.
They don't.
I think yours too, right? That's your only anime tattoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and then this one.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah.
I have. Wait, which one is it on? Oh, I have that. You know,
Awesome.
but yeah. So that was like
Broken ninjas.
Yeah.